Greetings, I'm SurroundEdByFreaks and I really want to thank you for the 1000 subscribers from the bottom of my heart. I reached this goal in February, but I've been busy and this video is not something easy to do, so it's coming up just now. 1000 subscribers are not many, they are actually rather few, but it means a lot to me. I've been chasing this goal since years. It's been one of the few times in which I've felt proud of myself. I felt proud of something I achieved. And of course I have to thank you, all my subscribers, and whoever watched any of my videos, really. I've never really tried to become a real YouTuber. I never pushed my channel on social medias. The only thing I wanted to do is to make silly videos and share moments and memories with others. I know it might seem like a pointless and very small goal, but for me it actually means a lot. And if you want to know why it means a lot, I guess that you can continue watching the video. I will now draw my life, doodle my life. And again, thank you so much for this. You really made me smile, and I feel this is an accomplishment that I will always remember and that nothing can take away from me. I was born in October of 1991 in Italy. I'd say my youth was nothing special, probably similar to the youth of many others who were born in the 90s. I was often spending afternoons with Pokemon Gold on my Game Boy Color or watching anime and cartoons on the TV, like many kids my age used to do after all. As I was growing up though, I was slowly realizing that something was off. At first I ignored this feeling and thought, well, I will grow up, things will change, it's pointless to worry right now. But then, when I was 15 years old, those feelings slowly started overwhelming me. I was having a hard time connecting. I started to experience more and more a detachment towards anything really. I was feeling lonely, but it wasn't a physical loneliness, it was more like an emotional loneliness, if that makes sense. I've never hung out with many friends, but the ones that I had were enough. I started thinking, what's wrong? Is it maybe the place where I was born that sucks? Am I so unlucky that everybody that I meet is so boring? Or is there something wrong with me? I kept asking these questions in my mind over and over and over again. It was a whirlwind of thoughts and questions taking over my mind at nighttime that to this day remain partially unanswered. Maybe my fault was not opening up with anybody, keeping everything inside while having a taut facade on the outside. But after all, what would have been the point in opening up about something I didn't fully understand to someone I didn't fully trust? What did I like about this period? I like having only school to practically worry about. Watching anime in the afternoon, playing some video games and surfing the interwebs. I still remember the long-gone anime forums I was in, or the countless AMVs with Linkin Park songs on the old YouTube. In June 2007 I opened my first YouTube channel called Those Who Never Die, named after Dozo from Naruto and misspelled because my English wasn't good. And I was uploading, guess what? AMVs, many of them with Linkin Park songs, how original, huh? And well, you hear many bad things about the internet, and some of them are true, but I'll tell you something that the internet really helped me with. It made me expand my horizons, find new interests, meet some nice people. I even improved my English quite a lot thanks to it. But these feelings inside of me kept growing and growing until I realized I couldn't ignore them anymore. Feelings of unexplained sadness. I was looking at my future and I was seeing nothing. It was June of 2009. I had a blonde mohawk at the time. Damn, I looked cool. But it was then that I told myself for the first time, I have a problem. I have depression. And it won't simply go away. I knew I had a problem, but not understanding it, I had no solution. Nonetheless, I kept going forward. My path was clear as long as I was in high school. In 2010, I finished high school and I tried university, I tried different jobs, but my mind wasn't there. This was the most depressing period of my life. I felt that I had no future, that everything was sad and grey. Why did I have to feel this way? Why did I have to endure this? What was the prize at the end of the road? I was struggling more and more, and I really started thinking that I didn't care about anything anymore. Going on with the timeline, I remember my YouTube channel got closed in June of 2011. It was the time in which the copyright laws started being enforced and, AMVs had copyrighted anime and copyrighted music in them. I didn't even care that much, even though I had 300 subscribers. What did I even care about back then? I don't remember. I immediately created a new channel called SurroundEdByFreaks. I named myself that way for two reasons. I would have liked a nickname which contained Ed, which I suppose is the short translated version of my actual name. Then I was listening to an album by Swedish band Tribal Inc. called Surrounded by Freaks and thought, hey, that could work. It was also fitting the voices in my head, constantly wondering if I really was surrounded by freaks, or if I was the freak. In 2012 I started opening up about my depression because I realized I couldn't make it by myself. I wasn't proud of this, but I had to accept that I needed help. So I started my first therapy. Until 2012, maybe because while growing up I was getting more and more immersed in my own mind and my own problems, I was thinking that I was a person who was mostly unable to feel and perceive most love and happiness. Sure, there were people I cared about and I had fun sometimes, but it was all shallow. But then I fell in love with a girl I've met online 2 or 3 years prior. I won't go into details of the time I visited and hung out with this person, but it was the happiest time of my life. And I couldn't believe it. My depression wasn't gone, but I was so happy because I was telling myself, so I can feel love, I can feel happiness. I was thinking that I was finally getting what I deserved all along, but unfortunately it didn't last. Maybe because of the long distance, maybe I just wasn't enough. As you can imagine, this kicked me back into a deep depression. I lost my girlfriend and best friend, my friends couldn't understand me and were scared of me, scared I could infect them. I felt abandoned. It was really hard to resist and not take the quick, easy way out. I cared little about my life at that point, but I resisted the urge because I knew that I would have badly hurt people I care about. I honestly have no feelings of rancor and spite towards anybody from that time. I guess I'm a loyal person, and even if I get hurt by someone I care about, I just can't stop caring about them. So what else was good from 2012? I started making gaming videos under suggestion of my girlfriend. In hindsight, it was a nice decision. I decided to make them in English, not because I particularly liked this language, but because in that way, since it's the international language, I was able to reach out to a broader audience. In August 2012, my first Skyrim video, now gone because it was such bad quality I deleted it. It took me many years, but I finally got the satisfaction of reaching 1000 subscribers, and most importantly, thanks to my videos I've eventually got to meet few great friends whom I regularly meet. So I feel to thank that person again, because in the end I feel that she had something to do with the majority of the things that gave me happiness. I went on by the stupid nickname of Celtic Viking Pirate. Sounds ridiculous, but of course it should, since I'm known of those. It's a stretched aggregation of some nicknames I've received throughout my life that used to fit my Skyrim persona, as I was always stealing and pillaging everything. In all these years I enjoyed being a cowardly dragonborn, or a Prussian noble engineer, or a Pokemon trainer who aimed at conquering the world. In 2012 I also made my most famous video that I record myself watching there taking the Hobbits to Isengard for 10 hours. I remember people actually trying to resist as much as possible watching those 10 hours videos. And of course there were people in the comments joking around, implying that they actually watched the whole thing. And I thought, would I theoretically be able to watch it all? It would be a torture, but in the end it would be a matter of determination and power of will. Would I have enough of it to go through 10 hours of the same video, repeated over and over? Being the moment that it was in my life, I had a lot of trouble sleeping. I badly wanted to change my life, because I knew that dwelling too much into my own feelings without changing anything would have brought me only pain and sorrow. And so I decided, tonight I won't sleep at all, and I will watch this video for as long as I can. If I can make it to the end, I will show myself that I have a lot of determination. It will surely be a boost for my mood. If I can do this, I can do also many other things. I held on with great effort until the 6th hour. I was about to give up towards the 7th hour, but seeing the goal closer and closer kept me going. I was thinking, if I give up now, these 6 hours would have been for nothing. And if I want to accomplish this, I would have to start over. I eventually managed to make it to 10 hours. I don't remember what I exactly said in the final speech of the video. I never went back to look at it. But I remember one line, something like, I have lost something dear to me, and I will do everything I can to get it back. Some people asked me what it meant. What I lost back then was my will of living, my will of going on. And I started losing it years before that day, but back then it was at the apex. I felt no reasons to go on, no prize at the end of the road, no interest in seeing what was ahead. In retrospect, doing this didn't even make me feel much better. In 2013 I went to live in Scotland for 1 year. I couldn't stand the sight of the walls of my room anymore, the room in which I felt so bad. I needed to change life, I needed to change place. I felt like running away. Time in Scotland wasn't bad. There were no insects I had a phobia of, I did various things, but unfortunately my depression wasn't improving much. I thought that going away from my hometown would have improved the way I was feeling. You can run how much you want from your own problems, but the monsters in your head will follow you to the top of the world and back. But my physical and mental health started doing quite bad, and in 2014 I was back in my hometown. But this time I knew there was no running away anymore. I had to face my problems once and for all. After coming home I restarted with therapies and with doing various little things. The friends I've made thanks to this channel helped me in these difficult times and pushed me to move forward. I'm always happy when I get to see them abroad. I became a vegetarian, something that made me feel proud of myself, since I really didn't feel the need to eat meat. I thought, why should animals die just to give me something I can easily live without? I started going to Comic-Cons and I started cosplaying. Being someone very attached to the past and to nostalgia, I of course went with Doodle from Naruto. This cosplay is one of the few things I've made that I'm actually proud of. I've received compliments at various cons, people telling me it was well made and original. I joined a few cosplay contests and surprisingly I won a couple of trophies at the small local con. I'm always happy to go around conventions dressed up as this crooked bandaged mummy. I also started learning German. Ich studiere, aber es ist nicht einfach. I've met people, both online and in person, telling me, "Hey, you're looking fine now. I remember how you were back then. It looks like your depression improved." I'm always surprised when I hear that. I don't feel a great deal of difference inside of me. I guess there's less desperation but more acceptance. But I do think I feel more free. My mind is more clear now, and that's important for me. Many things are yet to change though. I still am tormented by the memories of my past. Memories of when I was feeling sad, memories of when I thought I finally had found happiness. Memories of when I thought it was over for me. Memories of when I didn't have to worry about this. I always think about time passing by. I'm afraid of growing old and a perpetual feeling of running out of time and all the nightmares when I sleep. Maybe my mind is trying to look into the past, trying to find where did I go wrong. But in my opinion, there's not a moment that I can pinpoint. If I could go back in time and change my life, I wouldn't know what to change. If I were to meet the kid playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and Gran Turismo and watching Dragon Ball after school, I wouldn't know what advice to give him. I haven't been flawless, but I did my best. I have never listened to anybody and always did what I thought was right. I would have never gone out of my way to do something I didn't agree with. I've always stayed true to myself and I'm proud of that. It made my life more difficult, but I never wished that I was somebody else. And through good and bad times, I can only work on myself, trying to improve each day. So I don't have regrets in that sense. You know, many have told me that my biggest perk is my loyalty. My loyalty towards the people I care about, towards what I believe right. But I'm afraid that it goes beyond being a healthy loyalty. I'm still loyal to things and people who are not in my life anymore. My grandfather fought in World War II. After my country's government surrendered to the Allies, my grandpa was one of the soldiers who refused to surrender, and he kept on fighting. I don't agree with the ideals he had back then, but I'll never not appreciate that he chose to remain loyal to his allies and to what he believed was right. One day, it hit me. I regard loyalty so highly, almost nobody has stuck with me for the entirety of my life, and I guess that bothers me. If my life were a movie, no one would have sit to watch it all. Some watched the beginning, some arrived later and then left, some arrived even later and have no idea what happened at the beginning. and this gives me a pain in my heart. Nobody really knows my full story, well apart from you watching this video, even if in a very simplified and watered down version. I understand that even if to me loyalty is so important, for many others it's just not as much. And I can't blame them, everyone is different and everyone's story is different. But even knowing that, I can't help but feel a big sense of injustice inside of me. I hear voices saying, I don't deserve to feel like this. Wouldn't I deserve something more? Who am I to judge though? I label people as undeserving, but am I really better than them? Maybe I was the bad guy all along. Make no mistake, I never believed that this is a fair world. That would mean that the world would be perfect. Plenty of people more deserving than me got a much shorter end of the stick. I know that, but my mind does not accept this answer and keeps trying to convince me. And so even today, I find myself walking through the streets, looking around, looking at the sky with my usual unamused expression, listening to the same songs I've been listening for a lifetime. I stopped caring about most things. There's no time for distractions, there's no point in running away anymore. And I keep thinking and trying to find a solution of a riddle, a missing piece of a puzzle that I don't even know what should represent. Wondering if it even makes sense going on, if I even want to. I always thought having dreams was essential for living, and yet I never had concrete ones. But you know what? Even if I haven't solved this, I am at least more serene now. Sure, sometimes I do get overwhelmed by bitterness, but if I look at my past, I finally see that I did something good. I experienced something nice. I went places, met friends, received praises, participated in events. So there has been good stuff in my life. And for one of these good things, I have to thank you. As I said, I have now many serious things to think about for my health and my future. So I'm scaling down videos and channel activity. But I'm glad to have reached this goal on time. When I saw that number 1000, I had such a big smile on my face. I wonder why it means so much to me even though it's just a small number. I think it's because I accomplished a goal with something that I started years and years ago, when my life was very different. I feel like it reconciliates a bit my past and my present selves. And after all, something that I've always missed was to share moments, stories and emotions with others. And it's mostly why I started my channel and exactly what I did. And I wish these videos will stay for some people to see, and for me to one day to see them as good memories. Maybe I'll rewatch this video and I will smile. I gave access to my channel as a manager to my best friend, so no matter what will happen, the channel will always have an owner. The road is still long and there are battles to fight. I've always imagined my depression like a siege. Black, shapeless and bloodthirsty monsters have attacked, destroyed and pillaged my land. We keep resisting, but we're just too outnumbered and outgunned, waiting and hoping for reinforcements that unfortunately have never been sent. It has been a 10 years long siege, but we're still standing. And you know what? Today I feel a bit stronger. And even if one day I will lose this war, I will always be able to say that I won battles. I didn't go down without a fight, like a video game with multiple endings. Maybe I won't ever achieve a good ending, but I fought hard enough to be able to say that I avoided the worst ending. And it's also thanks to all of you, to all the people who pushed me to make the channel, gave me ideas, helped me with icons and thumbnails, everyone who watched, commented and subscribed since 2007. You helped me looking with courage in the eyes of everything that has happened to me and say, I am not as weak as you thought. I'm here, still standing in front of you, and if one day you'll really consume me, you still won't be able to erase what I've achieved. So again, thank you, from the bottom of my heart. You made me smile and feel proud of myself. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around.